everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Z-Berry. Welcome to a nice iPhone video. Yeah, big stuff going on. One thing I wanted to do, I've been getting a few people asking, and I want to do a little bit of a room tour. Show you guys what's going on, you know, where the magic happens. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So first things first, we've got a lovely door. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pop that thing right open, and then we'll take a look in. So a few of you guys have probably seen exactly, you know, some of my setup and all this coolness that's going on in here. Hope I didn't make anybody dizzy. We'll start on one side of the room and then we'll go to the other. Over here we've got a lovely door. Check that freaking thing out. That is a nice looking door, huh? Back of the door, boom, Rusty Wallace. I was actually one of the cutest Rusty Wallace fans of all time. Rusty Wallace was my dad's favorite driver when he was little, or not when he was little, but you know, back in the day when Rusty was racing. Therefore, I was the smallest, cutest Rusty Wallace fan ever. Picture on the screen here so you can see exactly just what I looked like in my Rusty sweats. And then after that, we'll flip this thing around. Beer. And then also in here we got this lovely Game of Thrones poster. Funny story about this Game of Thrones poster. So this is the Stark banner. If you watch Game of Thrones, you know what that is. That's, you know, winter is coming. Those guys, check that stuff out. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones yet, what's wrong with you? Anywho's, if you look at it, so you can see there's a little bit of like blood spattered. It's just red paint, and it's kind of like got some holes in it because it's supposed to be battle worn is the way that it was described in the thing. Hilarious thing, if you actually look on the comments of the Amazon, like where people purchased that, it actually says right on there that people are upset because there were holes in it because they said it was cut. It looks like somebody cut it on purpose and they didn't like that. Just to give you a heads up, it's battle worn. It's supposed to be cut and have red paint splattered all over it if you're looking to purchase one. Please don't be one of those idiots. Moving on. Next. Got my lovely September 11 poster. Always remember, 9/11, always remember. We got a lovely thing. This is Zach's room keep out. Got that when I was like little, when I had a room. My grandmother made that for me. Pretty fancy, pretty snazzy, you know, all that good stuff. Over here, we have got a lovely thing. This is Measure Barry, because I was a manager in football. Only person I know to get a letter in football. Just saying. Got my D, if you know what I mean, because I was a pair ago. Over here we got a lovely big Claymore sword. Check that out. One of my brothers had a very large selection of swords, and when he moved out, I actually acquired all of said swords. Shout out to my brother Mitch for giving me all those swords. So I got the other ones over here. And then over here we've got a lovely Game of Thrones Jon Snow poster, just like having him look at me. As you can also see me in the reflection. I look at him, he looks at me, he gives me inspiration. And then boom, over here we got a couple of NASCAR posters. First one that we got up there is Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's the Roval. Sorry about the reflection of the light. I'm doing my best here. But yeah, it's the Roval because I've been to both Rovals that they've had so far. Actually, at the last Roval, the one where Chase Elliott won is actually where I got engaged on pit road. Pop a picture on the screen there. Check that out. Thanks. Congratulations to me. I know, no problem. Congratulations to her. We're pretty happy. I'm awesome. Yeah, she's pretty good too. And then over here we've got a Goodyear does these posters where Goodyear will actually send out these posters where it has all of the racers on it for the like previous season. I got this one's from 2015, so I got it in 2015. And then I actually had a bunch of the race car drivers from the Cup Series that year come to NASCAR Tech when I was going to school there. Met Joey Logano, met Ryan Blaney was there, a couple other guys. So every driver that I met, I had signed this. So as you can see, I got a nice Ryan Newman signature there. Ryan Blaney, even though because Ryan Blaney's not on this poster because he wasn't full time yet. Sam Hornish Jr. was there as well. And a few other guys. I think David Gilliland was there too. But I didn't get Dave to sign this. I don't exactly know why. Anywho's, and then over here, I'll bring you into my racing sim setup. So this is a Logitech G29 wheel and pedal setup. And then I've got a GTR seat here. Just basic seat, nothing too fancy. Actually, be looking to upgrade this. Keep an eye out on the channel because I've got something special coming for the sim rig. I've got this fancy, like authentic Jeff Gordon like racing suit jacket that he had, which is pretty fancy. Used to wear it, don't wear it anymore. And then over here, just an old Toshiba TV screen. This is what I use as my sim racing rig TV screen. Eventually I'd like to have 3 monitors, but right now it's just the one big one. It's mounted to the wall back here. That way I can pull it out so it kind of looks like a dash. So usually you guys are getting like the view from like over in here, or actually you're over there more. I actually moved the camera over here. That way it's closer to the rest of my setup and whatnot. We'll get into that in a minute. Just a regular keyboard and a mouse over there, wireless hook up to that thing. So when I do iRacing, I can just drag it because this is connected to that. So I can flip this over there and then also have this connected to both consoles as well. And then after that, I've got I got a nice cup holder that a buddy made. Check that out. Shout out to my buddy Jacob that I do the podcast with. It's those guys, you know. And then over here we've got my computer, CyberPower PC, just, you know, basic gaming computer, nothing too crazy for processing and whatnot. Get a little bit of an external hard drive up on top for an extra memory. And then a Logitech webcam. That's what I use to shoot all my racing sim with. A couple of extra controllers there. Xbox One X right there in the actual gaming setup, and then a PlayStation 4 Pro, and then just another controller. A few games that I've had. Oh my god, I have OG Black Ops on disc. Totally forgot about that. Mostly everything that I've been buying lately has all been digital because I don't want to go to the store because I don't like to go outside. And then, oh god, down low we've got another headset, Turtle Beach headset. That's my buddy Ty's, so he doesn't have to bring one over. Also got a brand new router that I just picked up, the Nighthawk, for all those fast epic gaming and streaming Wi-Fi needs. And then we'll turn you around and I'll show you. So this is my actual setup over here, the actual like full-on game setup. So in the game setup, we'll start from one side to the other. This is a Blue Yeti microphone. That is what I use to record all of the YouTubiest videos with. And then I've got my regular PC monitor here, just a Samsung 24-inch curved monitor that I have, Red Dragon gamepad, and then the CyberPower PC mouse that came with the computer, CyberPower PC keyboard that came with the computer. My Elgato is back there. That does all the recording of the videos. Or gaming videos. That's how you actually get like the games and whatnot. And then over here we've got a 32-inch Samsung monitor. That is what I use to play all of my console gaming on. Another webcam up on top there. Same Logitech webcam that I have over here. Just that way, you know, that's how I record all of my console stuff. Faceplant G Fuel Shaker. Use code Carnage if you go there. My Carnage one's in the other room. And then also in there is what I've got my regular Astro A10 headset, both controllers, my Apple MacBook that I use there, which is nice and fancy. Avengers calendar there, and then a How I Met Your Mother poster up there. How I Met Your Mother is one of my favorite shows. And then I actually bought these on Amazon. This is kind of like one of the coolest things that I've bought on Amazon. Helps sound suppression in here. Usually it was pretty echoey when I first started doing stuff, and then I went and bought these things, so it muffles it and makes it a little bit better. So over here, this is like my pride and joy. This is my Hollywood Undead poster when I met them. I'll put a picture up here. We met them at the Aura in Portland. That was awesome. They all signed this, and then I got a bandana that came with it. It fits so perfectly. Let's see if I can get this to focus. That way I can show the exact show that I went to, which is the Aura in Portland. Hello, you can see me in the reflection. It's very nice. All right, and then now we're gonna come over to my my memorabilia stuff over here. So as you guys can see, I'm a fan of the Avengers. I don't know if anybody's picked up on that, whether it was the calendar, the 2 sick posters that I have. I love both of these. I've always wanted to have, I like this one more. I need to get this one like that one, where it has like the date and it has like all of the production stuff and the actors and actresses' names. I just think that's super cool to have. I think it's like really authentic. And then just the regular Infinity War poster. That thing, just the Avengers logo, kind of cool. Got a lovely futon. If wants to come sleep on it, hand built by me. I mean, they sent me the pieces, but then I built it. You get it. And then over here, I'll show you all of the NASCAR memorabilia stuff that I have, which is pretty fancy. So first things first, just a Ryan Blaney kind of like flag looking thing here. Come on, camera, focus, thank you. Old school Jeff Gordon Winston Cup champ from '97. I was born in '97, so that's kind of sick. A little flag, people put them in their cars. I'm not going to put that on my car. And a little cushion seat in case you want to bring it to the racetrack. Not going to do that. The World Heavyweight Championship belt, the Divas belt. Don't ask me why I have a Divas belt. It was an inside joke between me and my fiance. Up here we just got some cool hats. Modern Warfare hat there. These are a bunch of racing hats. My grandpa one time gave me this big box, had a bunch of Brian Vickers stuff in it. So a bunch of those are signed by Brian Vickers. And then this one here is a Mark Martin visor that it's my fiance's. It's got a bunch of signatures on it. I'm not even sure exactly who is on there. It's a lot. Ryan Blaney hat, Carolina Panthers hat. So funny story about that Panthers hat. I used to work in North Carolina back when I lived down there. I worked in a restaurant right in the middle of Charlotte. It was Cam Newton's like go-to restaurant. And one day he wasn't there, unfortunately, when I was there. However, he did come by and dropped off a bunch of shirts and hats for everybody that worked there. And that is how I got that hat. You can't get that Miller Lite Panthers hat. You have never been able to buy it. I don't know how he got them. I've always tried to research and buy them, and I just thought it was super cool to have. So yeah, and then next, we've got this cool like Jeff Gordon shelf. My Jeff Gordon memorabilia shelf. Got the old school Rainbow Warrior Chevy SS that he drove his last season at Bristol. A nice coaster, an award I won from a car show when I had a Mazda 6. I'll put that up on the screen. Look how good I look. Oh my God. Just Jeff Gordon hero cards all through there. There's a Hoonigan sticker up there. A little like winner's circle Jeff Gordon like action figure from 1999, which is kind of sick. And then this thing here, this is probably like one of the coolest pieces of NASCAR memorabilia that I have. So this is Jeff Gordon's Rainbow Warrior Chevy. I think it's the Impala or the Luna. Oh, it's the Monte Carlo. Holy God, I'm bad. So what this is it's his car from his championship winning season in '97. But the little piece of pavement that it's on, I'll actually bring it out and take this off. The piece of pavement that it sits on is actually a piece of Daytona when they dug it all up and repaved it. So that's pretty cool. It's the actual like pavement, so it's kind of his car on the thing, which is pretty sick. So pop that back on there. Just a couple other little cards, and then moving down to my Ryan Blaney setup. Ryan Blaney is my new current favorite driver. Some hero cards here and there. Actually have this one when I met him when he came to my school. Have him sign there. His old crew chief Jeremy Bolins, who is now Brad Keselowski's crew chief, right there. A Keselowski hero card over there, and then over here kind of tucked in the corner is a Joey Logano hero card that Joey signed when I met him when he came to NASCAR Tech. So this is a Ryan Blaney replica helmet. When we went to North Carolina last year, I debated buying one, and then my stepdad walked up and said, "That is a statement piece." And I said, "You're fucking right, it is," and that's why I bought it. And then down here we've just got just some other Ryan Blaney diecasts. So this was the car that he won with at the Roval. The first year that it happened, I was there. It was amazing. I've never seen my driver win before, so that was pretty sick. And that is my favorite paint scheme that he runs. And then this was his car that he won in the one of the dual races when he first went over to Penske. So it's got this one's actually a little bit more done up. It's got like the back that's kind of like dinged up, and it's got like the grill is all dirty and the front is hood's all dirty because it's like a raced version. And then this is just his PPG Mustang from last year, and then just a couple other cars. I subscribe to Speed Crate. If you guys don't know what Speed Crate is, definitely go on there. If you're a NASCAR fan, you like getting cool stuff, they send you, it's one of those crate things where they send you like a 1 month. Every month they send you a thing where it has a few items in it. That's where I've got most of my Ryan Blaney stuff. None of the big cars, the little cars I did get from Speed Crate, and then like the flags and the seat. And then I've got some more Ryan Blaney hats that I actually got from it. I've gotten koozies, coffee mugs, tons of stuff from Speed Crate. They basically just get a bunch of stuff put together and throw it in a box and call it a day. And then moving on, so now on the next shelf down is like my Brian Vickers shelf. Like I said, my grandpa gave me this thing with all these Brian Vickers stuff. So I got a couple of cars signed by Brian Vickers. That car signed, that car signed, that car signed. A Brickyard 400 signed Brian Vickers flag back there as well. And then down low, you've got basically just my miscellaneous shelf. I'll try and get out of the light so we can actually see that a little bit more. This car right here is signed by Richard Petty and Kyle Petty. Bill Elliott signed this number 9 car here, an old Mark Martin car. and then all my Rusty Wallace cars that I got from my dad. And then this is another one of those Goodyear posters. This is from 2016. They actually stopped making them after 2016 for some reason. Some NASCAR collectible cards, some other stuff over there, and then down on the bottom shelf, so yeah, guys, that is my fancy room tour. Everything going on in here. This is where the magic happens, all the good YouTube recording stuff. Oh my God, I forgot one of the coolest things. I have this Ryan Blaney 2019 playoffs hat that is actually signed by Ryan Blaney. When I met him, I met him at the Roval this last year. I actually have another Ryan Blaney signed hat in my bedroom. So it was a pretty cool story. I got engaged on pit road and met Ryan Blaney, my favorite driver, all on the same day. So a decent day in the life of Zach Berry that day. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's the room. That's all my memorabilia, the setup, and everything in here. So if anybody had any questions, shoot me a comment. If anybody's got any questions of all my stuff, where I got it, specs on stuff. I had a few people ask me what I use for a wheel and what I use for controllers and stuff. I don't use anything fancy yet because shit's expensive, y'all. But yeah, other than that, hopefully everybody enjoyed the room, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Also, just to give everybody a quick heads up, I don't have a fancy phone holder, so I've been using these steak tongs to hold my phone and record this whole video. So yeah, shout out to me for ingenuity. Deuces.